Wow, welcome back. And before we get back to what we are talking about, here I am holding Variance Property Management. This is a booklet, yes. And I'm still reminding you that this is a company that deals with managing your property. Whatever you like, whatever you want managed, buildings, your plots, your what, you can always contact Variance Property Management. And of course, I will read out their number. If you want to reach Variance Property Management, you can reach them via 0729 942320. For those who would prefer email, we have info@varianceproperties.com. Search them on their website, www.varianceproperties.com. Try out these guys, you're not gonna regret at all. Wow. So we're back here. We were talking about stigma.
I can say that stigma on autism is actually very high in Kenya, since not many people know about autism. Maybe in a group of 10 people, you can miss a single person who knows about autism. Like nada, nobody at all. Maybe in a group of 20, maybe one, or 30, maybe one. So it's really hard surviving, and most of the times, maybe for a child living with autism or an adult, there are adults living with autism too. Maybe for a child living with autism in a matatu, starts screaming, or maybe does not want to sit down, wants to stand throughout the journey, and you see many people now looking at you with those warrior eyes that are like, what's wrong with this baby? Can't the mom just hit him? I'ma give him a spank. I'ma just want him to sit down.
Just to make the kid come down. This is a public whatever. You know, some people would say, you know, we are in a public, we're in a public service vehicle. If people want to shout, go get your private vehicles.
Yes. I've had people telling me, buy your own car, and then I shot at him and told him, who told you I don't have a car? Because
so someone told you that?
Yes, somebody told me. Because
how did you feel?
Actually, I have learned to ignore, and I don't really care much, mostly when the people who don't know what they're saying. Like this guy, my son Nathan loves cars so much, and if you just walk out here, you'll see him touching every car on the way. He wants to touch the wheels, maybe the locks. So he touched the wheel kidogo, and the man was like, atatoa pumzi, toa mtoto hapo. And then I asked him, looking at this baby, like other kids are over there playing over there, other kids are in the back.
Can't you notice that there's something unique about this?
Yes, why is it just particular on the wheels? And atatoa pumzi na makucha, what do you mean atatoa pumzi? And then he was like, sununue gari yako. Then I told him, who told you I don't have a car? Then I just brushed him off and I left him there. You know, such things happen because people do not know about autism. If people knew about autism, they'd see this child is so unique.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
Yes.
Something that is so unusual about the kid.
Yes. And I was telling you earlier about his dad with him in the market. So his dad, maybe he could stay with him for some time. His dad used to go with him to the market or other places. So when his dad is out with him, people are like, why are you carrying this big baby? Why can't he just walk? People don't understand. And then at one point, somebody even told him, huyu sasa mmeshika nayo mali, like, is the child who makes you look rich, or I don't know how to translate that in a
Okay,
proper way.
honestly, I don't want to talk about this, but I just want a bit of it. Now, the dad walks with the kid, and you know the societal judgment that we have, like, huyu ndiye ameshika nayo mali, really. Where is the dad?
The dad, at this point,
yes, is he in your lives?
He's in his life. He cares about his child so much, and earlier during his therapy sessions, his dad used to take him for most of the therapies.
Wow.
I wasn't there, and he was like, he does not care, by the way, about what people say or what people think. Akiamua na mbeba kwa mgongo, he carries him kwa mgongo, as big as he is. And he's so passionate about making him somebody big someday, because we all know people like Bill Gates, they're all living with autism. Steve Jobs, millionaires, the former CEO, Apple company, maybe Microsoft founder. These people are living with autism and it has not changed anything about their lives. Wow. So we cannot begin to stigmatize people living with autism just because they're nonverbal, or because they're drooling, or because they cannot sit, or because they cannot stand. You know, they have other capabilities and they're very smart. Their IQ is very smart. I usually tell people, my son's IQ is higher than mine. Trust me, it is. Wow. Sometimes before I even hit him,
Okay, now listen. We're still here, we're locking it up on Nyango Media, and I'm here with my guest, Juliet Dimitri. Of course, she is the mom to the autistic child called Nathan. And before I talk about anything, I really want to appreciate the fact that Nathan's father is in full blast support of his son. What a dad. Feel hugged outside there. Nyango Media, also sending hugs and warm greetings. Now, today we're discussing about autism and whatever that surrounds autism. You've heard the names that have been mentioned. It doesn't mean that if a child is, autistic, they would become dumb and, become useless in the society. You have heard for yourselves the names that have been quoted. So as we continue with this session, I believe that you are going to learn something that is going to help you to relate well with your child back at home. Just, have the understanding and accept the fact. Treat them with care. And if it's not about you, maybe it's as a neighbor's son or neighbor's daughter. Don't worry about the noise. That is Nathan. So we are here because of him. Now, you'll get to know how to handle your neighbor's daughter or your neighbor's son or wherever. And again, this is not something that somebody invites. You never know. Maybe you'll give birth to an autistic child. So kindly, this is a society. Learn how to correlate and how to handle these kids with great care. Let's get back to this. How did your family take the news? Like now you were breaking the news, my child is not 100% normal, he is autistic. What was the reaction from your husband's side, from his dad's side, and your family side?
The reaction, I wouldn't actually when I told my sister, the first person I told was my sister, my youngest sister. She's like my best friend, and she's like Nathan's second mom. I can say
what's her name?
Janet. She understands him more than anybody else I know. And she's very close to him. And sometimes Nathan speaks to her when he doesn't even speak to us. For instance, there's a day Nathan told her, sit down, because he was like pulling her to come and sit, and Janet does not want to sit. So eventually he told her, sit down, and shouted at her. Janet was so shocked, and she was like, what? This boy can speak.
Yes.
And, he's full of surprises like that. So Janet was really feeling sorry. I don't know, but she's just like me, emotional. I think she had a breakdown at some point. I told my mom. My mom was very sad, very, very sad. She was with me like any other African mom. We'll keep you in prayers. We pray for Nathan, and they haven't stopped praying for us. And my brother, my sisters, they've been very supportive. And I told other people, they're just like, he'll be fine. And I don't know what they mean by he'll be fine, but somebody living with autism never gets fine. It's you to be fine by him. It's you to adjust into their world and get to know them, not you try to fit him in your world, because that is never going to happen. They're unique in their own ways and they have their own way of doing things. So,
Julie, maybe there's someone out there, they have their child, they have their children, and they don't understand. They can't tell if this kid is normal or this kid is autistic. What are some of the signs of a child who is autistic, so that at least someone can learn, can get it from you? So that, you know, like you were saying that at the beginning you were not understanding it, you used to hit, you used to beat Nathan, until now the reality dawned on you, like your child is not normal as you. So what are some of these signs?
Like I stated earlier, autism is a neurological disorder which affects mostly the social life of a child or the communication. So the first sign that you'll notice maybe at 2 years of age is when the baby cannot communicate. That is one of the topmost signs. But before you realize that, you'll notice that your child is withdrawn, does not play with other kids of their peers. I remember back when I used to stay in Kisumu, my neighbors' kids used to say, Nathan hapendi kucheza na wenzake, and then they'd make fun of it and say, ama ni juu anaongea kizungu. But I never noticed there's anything wrong with him not playing with other kids. So that is another sign that you notice from your child. Early stages, the child is withdrawn, particular about particular things. They are most interested in things that make them happy. They do not care about what other people think. They are emotionless. You can get angry when you want, you can say what you want, but this child does not care how angry you get. Sometimes they do not even read emotions. And before that, you notice that your child is hyperactive, very hyperactive. Kids are usually hyperactive when they eat sugar or when they eat things that stimulate them, but autistic kids are very hyperactive. They jump around on their toes. They don't run with their legs flat. They're like always on toes. They're tiptoeing kinda. So that is another sign that you'll notice with your child. And another thing that you'll notice with your child is maybe they hit their heads on the wall vigorously when they're angry or after taking too much sugar. When maybe they want to do something and you're not letting them do it, they'll hit their head on the floor, they'll roll on the ground severely, they will do like every other thing that they want. Don't worry, Nathan is craving for sugar, he hasn't had sugar in a while. So soda here is really craving for it, and he wants to.
And he's excited.
Yes, he's also excited. So another thing is when your child has autism, some of them are not even able to reach their milestones on time. So they will not walk on time. They might not sit on time when it's really bad. Like there's male, there's the higher point that is not. Let's just say autism is autism, but some of them are like really excess. The child cannot sit, cannot walk, is drooling. Some of them, when they're too happy, they convulse, they have seizures. Some, when they're too sad, they have seizures. If they're going through some trauma or something really disturbing, they have seizures. So it depends with your child. And they have high fevers at the same time. So it's about you to, if you see any of these signs in your child, you take your child for assessment. And you don't have to take your child for, maybe if you cannot afford it, there are places where you can take your child for assessment for free. There are organizations that offer help to such kids so that you don't really have to go through the stress and the trauma of looking for money. But you can also assess your child at Kise. Kise is just around here, Kasarani. I think they charge 100 bob only. So,
registration?
Yes, not actual registration, but the whole thing. You go there, you just pay 100 bob, and the child is assessed, and you know what is wrong with the child. Maybe your child might not be having autism in particular. Maybe it might be something else. So it's about you to look out for your child as a mother, as a neighbor, as somebody listening to this, because you might have a neighbor's child in your neighborhood who has autism, but the parents do not even know because they are not exposed, but you are exposed. So it's upon you to go and reach out to your neighbor
and just have a sitting with the neighbor.
Yes.
Tell them really what is happening.
Tell them, I have seen your child is not communicating, because some tell you, anaongeanga kwa nyumba, but in real sense, this child do not talk at all. Yes.
Now, I think we're going, We're going for a short break, and as we come back, we'll be winding up. We want to get to know how best to handle autistic children or autistic adults, because they grow into adults, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so after the break, we're coming back. Keep locking it up on Tell Unscripted on Nyako Nyango Media.